Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can send you a background. Wait. I can send you a background that you can add to it because I have a default background on my. Wait, I will send you. Okay, it's fine. Okay, if you have it already. Okay, thank you.
On my skin, so this is love. I know it is. I know it sounds super cliche, but you make me feel some type of way. This is falling in love.
How many? By the way, how many people are watching your stream like regularly? Like how many? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. People were hyping it up in the live chat, so. What?
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded.
Oh no. Some weird noises are happening. Hello everyone. Welcome to this awesome stream.
Yeah, can you say hi to everyone for me?
What?
Can you say hi to everyone for me? Tell them that I'll be there in a second.
Sandwich Lee
My
saying
microphone
hi.
isn't even plugged in. Oh my goodness! Tell them that I'm being an idiot. Just they can hear you. They can't hear me.
Okay, so he's an idiot apparently, which.
Hold up. Watch this now. Watch what happens. Did I fix it? Oh no, I didn't. What is going on? Dude, what is going on right now? Every technical bad thing that could possibly happen is happening right now. This is actually awesome. Hello, everyone. Hi. I know you can't. I know that we're having issues right now. Every bad tech. My mic basically just crashed. That's what my mic just did the equivalent of. I apologize. Give me a second. My mic, my video cam literally just crashed. Alberto, are you still there? No, he's not. Oh my goodness. This could not have gone any worse. Wow. This is actually great. Oh my goodness, guys. This is... Hello?
Yeah?
There we go. I can hear you now.
Oh my god, finally.
I can hear you. Oh my goodness, my camera crashed. That's the issue right now that I'm dealing with.
Oh my... Wow. This is awkward.
This is scuffed. This is scuffed this is scuffed beyond belief. Come on.
Oh my...
Turn on, you stupid camera. Hi guys, I'm sorry. It's the first time I've done this. I literally just got home from work. I'm like panicking. Oh my goodness. Can I just breathe on a USB cable to make it work? Guys, give me a second. I'd like to apologize. Let me do this. Okay, so there we go.
Does it work?
No, it isn't. I have to delete the property. Guys, I apologize. Alper, can you tell them how amazing they are and that I thank them for coming out?
Sandwich Lee's thanking all of you for coming to the stream, and
because I don't know if they can hear me. That's the issue.
I don't know. Can you hear Sandwich Lee? I can hear him, but
oh, I just disappeared off screen. Something happened. What the heck?
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Yeah, my OBS. I don't know if they can hear me. I just want to let them know. My OBS basically crashed. That's what it did. So I have to restart it. But if I restart it, it'll cancel the stream. So I have to be, I'm going to call this Kool-Aid. I have to set up like everything for my camera again.
Okay, so Sandwich's OBS apparently crashed. I don't know if you can hear him, but yeah.
Oh, they say they can hear me. Yes,
Okay,
it is a skill issue. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Sandwichy.
Yes. Come on. It's plugged in. Come on. What do you mean you don't recognize Logitech C9 camera?
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, Logitech.
Can they see me, by the way, like my
I'm
characters?
here. I'm here. I'm
Oh,
back.
oh.
Ayo. Hey, what's up, everyone? Yes, I am wearing a hat. I did not lie that I would wear a hat because I got a bad haircut. All right. Hello, everyone. How are you today? I actually am. I'm not at the usual desk. I've set up a little space here so I could freely talk. I have a microphone. I'm using a camera tripod as a microphone. But what's more important is I have someone. How do I pronounce your name again, just so we get this right? Because I say Alperter, but apparently I say it wrong.
Nah, it's fine. You can say it like that, but Alperter.
Alperter. All right. That's.
Nah, it doesn't matter how you say it. It doesn't really matter how you say it. You can call me bitch. I don't know. Sorry for swearing.
Whoa. I didn't approve of that. I'm just kidding. You can say whatever you want.
Sorry.
But hello, everyone.
Okay, sorry.
Welcome today. I have a guest. This will be hopefully the first of many, but today I'm getting to talk to Alper. Oh, my goodness. Alperter. Let me just make sure I get this right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Is joining me today. I really appreciate it. Today we're talking a lot of stuff. You guys don't know, this is Henry. This is actually Henry Emily from my Michael Afton trial video. He was the you were
the worst
wait,
voice
you're this
actor
way.
ever.
I should probably talk this way when I'm talking to you. I should lean this way.
The worst voice actor ever, man.
That wasn't that bad. All right, guys. He's not happy. Oh yeah, I did move my setup and there's a nice blanket here. I thought you guys might appreciate that. He was Henry. He thinks his voice acting performance was bad. I actually think the exact opposite. I think he was very good. It was very serious and it was perfect. But you know, oh, biased. You think Henry's gonna pay for his crimes? I don't know. I'm writing up the script for that one.
But there's a sequel?
There is a sequel. I don't think I ever told you that. That's the issue. I
No.
never told you. But no, don't worry. It's so early in the stages that you can
I'm
work on
excited.
your Henry voice. How about that?
Okay.
If you're really that self-conscious about it, you
Okay,
can work
I
on
will
your
be
Henry
working on it.
voice. But yes,
Yeah,
hello
I will.
everyone. I just want to let you know for the duration of this live stream, I will be talking to my good friend here. My good friend here.
Okay.
But if you guys have any questions, you can say them in the chat and I will ask. And that is kind of how it will go. I can't really see you guys on my laptop. I have my phone here. So if you do have questions, I will ask. But give me a second to read them out if we're talking about something. But first and foremost, what I want to ask everyone that I talk to is, what is your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game? Before we even start any of this.
For me, my personal favorite from like my own experience is Sister Location. I just love the atmosphere, basically the whole game itself, the story. Yeah, that's my personal favorite. But
Oh my
yeah,
goodness, thank you. Thank you. Finally, I've met someone who actually likes Sister Location. I cannot tell you how long I have been just looking and scrolling through YouTube of people writing hate essays on why Sister Location is so bad. And finally, I've met someone who actually likes Sister Location. I can't believe this.
Nah,
All right,
because,
we can
like,
actually end the stream here. Because I don't want to get to the part where we disagree. I don't want to
yeah,
get to
same.
Yeah, I don't want to get to that part. We could just end the stream there. I see some people saying that they like Sister Location, FNAF 2. I know some people in my community like FNAF 2 just to piss me off. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not a good game. It's just not a good game.
Okay,
Alright.
I think this is where the disagreeing starts.
Already, wow. What's your least favorite FNAF game? There's only one right answer. There's only one right answer.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it is AR.
Yeah, there we go. FNAF AR. FNAF AR was absolutely atrocious, and if you defend Five Nights at Freddy's AR, then you just don't like money. Because everything in there was like a paid DLC.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really played it, but from what I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, FNAF AR was pretty bad. All right, next up on the questions of, because we have to introduce you. You are a FNAF YouTuber. So we've asked you what your favorite game is. We've asked you what your least favorite game is. But it's time to know, what is your favorite, listen to this, what is your favorite animatronic? It can be looks, maybe mechanics, if you like how, the mechanics work in game, how they look, their story, the lore, anything. What is your favorite animatronic?
Well, I have two personal favorites, so I will list them. So first is Funtime Freddy. I just
Two.
love his voice, his personality, all that.
Oh,
I just
hold
love
up. I'm
him.
sorry to interrupt you, but I know I can't show it on screen, but if you guys follow Al Perter on Twitter, you will see that he is, I think you're working on a Funtime Freddy cosplay, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
I saw that. That was really cool, by the way. All right, I'm sorry for interrupting. I
Thank
just thought that was like a really cool note.
yeah. And my second favorite personal is Toy Bonnie. I just like him. I don't know why. Maybe he's just
Toy
way too.
Bonnie.
Yeah, I don't know why. There may be something. I don't really know why. That's just my personal favorite, which I always liked. I don't know why.
Toy Bonnie is cool, except for the fact that he is the most annoying animatronic when you're playing 1020, along with Withered Foxy. That
Yeah.
animatronic like jump scare screen where he like brrrr across like the whole like in front of your mask. When he does that, is the most annoying thing ever because it takes so long.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Dako's like live streams that he did back in the day, and he hated Toy Bonnie there when he did FNAF 2, played FNAF 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Toy Bonnie is quite annoying. All right, now I have to ask you, what is your least favorite animatronic? What animatronic annoys you to your core?
Oh my God, I don't really. I mean, probably Dee Dee. I mean, I think that's a pretty.
Dee Dee. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. I
I
think
don't really
mine might
have-
be Ennard. Have you played that sister location Ennard night, the custom night, not the custom night, the secret room?
No, because I haven't made it through night 4.
You haven't made it through night 4?
No, I just did. I just couldn't.
Oh
Way
my
too hard for
goodness.
me.
I don't blame you, but the Ennard night, you have to do it. You have to beat it. Everyone, if you are a fan of Alperterra and I feel bad pronouncing your name wrong. I'm so sorry.
You can say you know what you can say Alper.
Alper.
You know,
Alper. That. Oh my goodness, you are saving me right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you on my cam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alper. If you follow Alper, you need to demand that he does a sister location live stream. All right, you need to demand it. A sister location live stream. All right, if you already subscribed to Alper, you need to get him just force him to do a sister location live stream and finally beat the game and do the Ennard night so you can suffer as I did.
Oh no.
It's so
I don't
difficult
want
for
to.
me. It's so difficult, but it's fun. It's actually fun, like to get to the point, but it is pretty difficult. All right, now we've talked about some games, right? We've talked about some games, and we've covered your. I keep looking the wrong way. You're not here. You're over there. We've covered some basis on what you like in FNAF. Now I gotta ask you a question.
Yep.
It's a question, all right? And take your time. What is your favorite? As I'm aware, you are a book reader. You like the books, right? Or most of the
Yep.
books, right? What is your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's book?
Well.
So many options.
Yeah, there are so many options.
He really has to think about this one. Because you like the Tales books, right? You like the Tales.
Yeah. I'm thinking about Tales. Something from Tales, but I don't know.
Just,
Probably from maybe the Bobby Dots conclusion.
Bobby Dots.
Just because-
Ooh.
Yeah, Bobby Dots, because it can. Wait, what? Okay, because it contains, Bobby Dots. That's one of my favorite stories from Tales. And does it contain GGY? No, I think so.
I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, don't tell anyone. But I don't really read the Tales books with any actual effort or emphasis in mind because I'm so burnt out after reading all the Fazbear
Yeah.
fights. So I couldn't tell you. But it probably does because I think that book was known for having the GGY reveal. Like that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys, I'm just gonna fix my chair.
Yeah,
I'm
it does
sorry.
contain the Storyteller, GGY, and Bobby Dots Part 2.
It does. And let me tell you, the Bobby Dots books and Tiger Rock have all been like really big and like, cause like the first
Yeah.
three Tales books were not really that hyped. Like they weren't really.
Yeah, exactly. They were just that.
Yeah,
They
no
were
one really
just-
cared. But then the second that people were like, oh, these could be canon to the games, people were freaking out.
Yeah, it all started with Bobby Dots Part 1, I think, because that was the most connected to Security Beach, I think, or Art Pizzaplex. So
That's true. That's true. All right, so it's time to actually cut to the chase with our audience here. Guys, you know why we're here. I'm just kidding. We're here to settle one of the greatest debates right now within the FNAF community. Right now, the FNAF community is actually on fire, and I don't mean that I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean that literally. The community is on fire. Scroll through Twitter or X. I'm never calling it X, but scroll through X,
Same.
that word. Scrolling through X will show you that there is a crazy amount of conversation around whether the Tales from the Pizzaplex books are canon. And I'm gonna let you guys know, I am a parallel person, and wrong side. And Alper, you believe that they are
Canon.
canon. He thinks that these books are canon to the games. Now, I know some of you guys might have a lot of opinions. You guys want to chat those, send them in the chat. I'll read them. What you think personally. I can't run a poll, but maybe you want to just type canon or parallel, how you feel about them. But there is a lot of conversation around these gosh darn little like pieces of paper, and there are people going to war over it. And Alper, I would like you to go first. What is your main piece of evidence for why you think the books are canon to the games?
So, I think it is my main piece of evidence for it is because they seem very much connected to our Security Breach or the game or our Pizzaplex. Because when you compare them to Fazbear Frights, they were not really that lore revealing. They just kind of confirmed some stuff that we know from the past or were theorizing. But I think that with the Tales books, they are just way too straightforward with some stories such as the GGY, Bobby Dots, and they just seem very much connected to it. That's like my main piece of evidence.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just to explain my opinion, I think they're parallels. I think they're parallels because I think a lot of people forget what these books contain. Like, for example, one of my main pieces of evidence for why I think that there's a disconnect, and you're going to hear about this in an upcoming video. Sorry for plugging that, but there is an upcoming video where I want to talk about the story Help Wanted. Help Wanted is a story that took over the internet for a bit. Alper, I'm sure, wrong side. Alper, I'm sure you remember that MatPat theory?
Yeah, I do.
You remember that? That theory went...
FNAF isn't real.
Yes, FNAF isn't real. That was a theory that absolutely just took over the internet. And MatPat was one of the first people to take these games, take the books serious. In the moment, no one else was doing it. MatPat did it, and everyone just stomped on him, stepped on him. I made a video talking about him. Alper, did you make a video about that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
You didn't. Alper did not make a video about that. But I made a video about it, and just talking about that's crazy. This doesn't make sense. This is nonsensical. Why would the books, mean so much? Why would this be happening? And it's interesting, and one of my reasons for I'll make this short and sweet, but one of my reasons is if the Help Wanted story has Scott Cawthon, or Scott Cawthon, the rogue indie game developer, making 3 games, why is there a 4th? Because Nightmare Fredbear is literally shown a panel later. And I'm doing my research. I have to go back and play Security Breach, but I'm pretty sure FNAF 4 is not mentioned. I have to see if there's any mentions of FNAF 4 within the Pizzaplex. And also, I have to read some of the Tales books, but I do think that there are disconnects between what we see in the Pizzaplex and what we see in the books Pizzaplex. And I think you've mentioned this before. We were actually spoken before. That's why we're talking. I talked to Alper before, and we had a good conversation. So we were talking, and you mentioned how you think the Pizzaplex is very old, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. Go. Any more on that?
Old, the minutes.
So, he thinks, so just to sum it up, you think that the books Pizzaplex, you think that the Pizzaplex in the books is the same Pizzaplex, but it's gone through multiple changes because of the stories, right?
Yeah, because of the events and all that happened in the story.
Okay, so my question to anyone else, so I actually, let me read your guys' messages just for a second. Oh, what's up, Crashmaster? Thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. FNAF books equals Schrodinger's bear. You never know, and like Schrodinger's cat, you never know until they finally connect it. But to read some of the comments here, just to read some of the comments here, I am seeing a lot of, I think they're canon. I'm seeing a lot of, I think they're canon. So I think that you've won. I think you've won them over. But
Okay.
So to sum it up, I think that these books I think these books are not canon because a lot of changes happen. And also, I think one major thing is people forget how old is the Pizzaplex and when did FNAF 6 take place? Do you have any idea? Have you theorized about that at all?
When does FNAF 6 day plagues?
No, how old the Security Breach Pizzaplex is.
I mean, I think it is a few years old from what we see in Tales from the Pizzaplex. I mean, as I said, I believe that they are the same. So, I don't know. Maybe a few years. I mean, I don't know.
It is.
But it is definitely years.
It is definitely interesting to find out because we need. I think John FNAF from the channel FNAF, which is we're going to talk about later. FNAF released a bombshell video. Do you agree with that? Did you watch that video?
Yeah, I watched it twice, and yeah, I agree that the connections and with the novel trilogy and Ruin are big. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to that later, because if you guys haven't seen that, FNAF dropped a bombshell video. But to just gloss over, before we get to that, one of the things that I do think that's interesting that FNAF made a video about was his, I solved security breach. And he talked about, like, he thinks he solved, like, the dates of the Pizzaplex. I think he said 2036, right?
Something 2030, yeah, something that, yeah.
Something there, right? My only issue is whoever, because actually, you know what, guys? Before we get to that, I just want to say something really quick. Depending on whether you like or dislike Security Breach had a lot. I think we can agree on that, Alper. Security Breach had a lot.
Yep.
It had a lot. If you followed MatPat, ID's Fantasy, maybe Alper's channel, and just all the theorists in general, there's a lot in the environment and the building of Pizzaplex that just suggests so much. Like, for example, the Nightmare on plushies are literally everywhere, right?
Yep.
There's something weird there. I don't know if John solved it, but there is a weird reason why they brought those back.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have to remember that there's, like, as MatPat mentioned in the video, there's drawings in the basement where the endoskeletons are. Just there's enough to talk about where Glitchtrap is. Where I know some of you are gonna get on my case about Glitchtrap and, like, that whole, like, is it the Mimic program? Is it Glitchtrap? I'm gonna call it Glitchtrap for this stream. All right, I'm calling it Glitchtrap. Maybe you think it's Mimic 01 or whatever, some Mimic program. I'm calling it Glitchtrap for the stream. It doesn't matter what it is or where it's from, but I'm just calling that program Glitchtrap, just to get that out of the way. I already know some people do not like that. But Security Breach had a lot. And one of the things that I think people do not grasp and understand about Security Breach is that Steel Wool tells a story very differently from Scott Cawthon. I mean,
Yes.
Alper, I think we can both agree that Ruin was a great
I
example.
agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It was like a very, very big, it was on display in that one. But what people don't realize is Steel Wool tells a very different story. So the reason why we have debates, like, have you seen the tweets from ID's Fantasy about, like, the Help Wanted mask being different from the Security Breach mask and the Ruin mask being different? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I seen. Yeah, I did.
There is a lot of discussion about whether the Vanny mask is even the same and if it's a different mask, if someone brought a different mask. So Steel Wool tells a story very differently from Scott. Like, Scott told things through website code, the code, what's that called? The code of a website?
Source code.
Source code, thank you. He told stuff through the source code. He told stuff through cutscenes, through loosely connected books. He told stuff through, like, hidden Easter eggs. Steel Wool is just like, let's just change small details. Like, for example, the mask. I put on that Vanny mask in Ruin. Didn't even realize that it was a different mask until I watched Markiplier play it. They are very sneaky at hiding details. Did you know that there were Nightmare on plushes within Ruin?
Yeah, I've seen. There's one literally right in front of the elevator that the Mimic, that Gregory betrays us.
Isn't that
in front of?
Did you say that you think Gregory betrays us?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Enough about talking about Security Breach, but yeah, I just want to mention that for anyone out there that's thinking about, like, the lore and everything, just remember Steel Wool tells a story very differently from Scott Cawthon. Even though Scott Cawthon is still a large part of the games, they just tell a story so differently. They tell the story just so differently that we actually have a community we have to change our mindset when we approach these games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
It's pretty crazy. So let's talk about the real mystery of the hour. We covered the books. We'll get into that maybe a little bit later because that's like a really long debate, and I guess we'll never come to a conclusion on that until the games outright add something. But I want to talk to you about Alper, about what was your opinion of Ruin and how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, so just like we talked before, I think it is definitely better than Security Beach, the main game, and I'll probably rate it probably 7 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10, something like that.
All right, everyone else in the chat, you also can give your ratings on what you think Security Breach is out of. I mean, not Security Breach, the Ruin DLC. How would you rate it out of 10? Personally, I think that's a very fair rating. I think 7 or 8. I thought it was so much better than Security Breach. But to talk about Ruin now, I want to ask you a question, Alper.
Yep.
Did you experience any bugs while you were playing the game?
Yes.
You did experience bugs.
Yes, I did.
Interesting.
I think like 3 small.
Oh, like 3.
One kind of
Okay,
noise.
so some small bugs.
Yeah. some
I
small
think
ones.
I had a perfect run. I think
Yeah.
I had a really good run. I think that's why I rate it like an 8 because I just had no bugs. Whereas Security Breach, I had so many issues.
I mean, the bugs that I really experienced weren't really that big. They were just kind of there, you know. They didn't really bother me or something, you know. They didn't really, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, there were definitely bugs within that game. There were definitely bugs within the game that I've seen other people experience, but I never had to experience it myself. So definitely Steel Studios, I want to give you credit. You did a really good job on Ruin. I think the whole community has basically agreed that as far as like a bug and like graphical standpoint, it is a pretty good game.
Yeah,
It
gotta
was
agree with that.
It was definitely pretty good. So, Alper, I want to ask your opinion. When you played the game and you played Ruin, and after beating it, all right, when you first went to the end, did you think that it was, spoilers for if you've never played Ruin, but did you think at the end that the Mimic was going to be in the basement?
Yes.
So you thought the Mimic was going to be in the basement?
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, I thought, yeah.
You thought, okay, so I thought the Mimic as well was going to be in the basement. I was right, but I was kind of wrong on a lot of other things. I thought that Gregory would ride in with the head of Glamrock Freddy and save us. I was wrong. But all right, so personally, I thought the Mimic was going to be down there too. Upon your initial playthrough, did you think that it was Gregory that cut the line, or did you think it was the Mimic that cut the line?
When people started mentioning that it could have been the Mimic, because I thought during my first playthrough and after some time, I really thought that it was Gregory. I didn't really think that it was the Mimic. I haven't really think about it at all.
So you thought it was Gregory, and until this point, you still think it's Gregory?
Yeah, I still think it's Gregory.
Okay. All right. Perfect. The Nexus system. Like we're covering our bases here. We talked about Gregory. Let's talk about the Nexus system. Obviously, there's a lot of theory. There's obviously a lot of theory crafting that's going to go on with the Nexus system. I think that there's more conversation that needs to be had about it. There is very little detail given to us about the origin of it. But if I had to ask you based off of right now in your initial playthrough, theorizing, all that stuff, who do you think built the Nexus system?
Well, I don't really have... I think it was either Vanessa or someone else, but I thought that it was Vanessa or someone else. I think it is Vanessa. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't believe it was Cassie's dad? I think I saw Rytoast make a video. Some of you guys can correct me. I thought it was Rytoast that made a video that stated that it possibly could be Cassie's dad because he's a technician. It seems. You don't think that at all?
I mean, maybe it could be true. Yeah, there's really nothing to prove either way, so it could be.
Isn't it weird how they teased, like they talked so much about Cassie's dad?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like, why?
It's so weird why they bring up. Also, if you guys are in chat, you guys can confirm whether me and Alper are being weird, but they really emphasized Cassie's dad in this one. And we'll
Yeah.
talk about FNAF and John FNAF. I feel like I have to say John FNAF, or else you guys will think I'm talking about the game.
Yeah. I also say
Yeah.
it like that.
Yeah, so I think I have to say that, but we'll talk about that in a second. But I do feel like Cassie's dad has this weird emphasis placed on him. And as far as we know we've literally not seen him. I don't think he doesn't like appear on any of the posters, right? Like when they talk about like Roxy and like, like when you go in the AR world, you see Roxy and Gregory.
Yeah.
There's very little emphasis placed on like any images or any actual presence of him, of like where he's been, but they talk about like, he was a technician, right? When the Faz wrench, that clip that they just nicely threw in there.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. It's weird.
it's weird how they place such a large emphasis through the collectibles on this character, and we have no idea where he's from. We don't know where Cassie's from, right?
Yeah. We don't know anything, basically.
Yeah, we know nothing about Cassie. Cassie remains largely a mysterious character. And I actually want to ask you your personal theory of, do you think that we will see Cassie's dad?
Yeah, I think we will.
You think we will? You think that we'll actually meet him or something of him?
I think that we will play as him, maybe in Help Wanted 2. Maybe.
Oh, he went there, guys. Oh, he went there.
I went there. I went there.
Oh, he went there. Oh, goodness. Wow. Okay, so Help Wanted 2. We won't jump to that just yet, but I will mention that is a very interesting theory. Cassie's dad is the main character. I did theorize about it myself, and I made a video that is not public. I'm not going to upload it, but I did kind of believe that for a bit. So now we talked about Cassie's dad. I want to ask you, because another major topic about Ruin in general is, what ending is the canon ending? So everyone can hear it. What ending do you believe to be the canon ending?
So, Princess Quest.
And what is your main contributing factor to coming to this conclusion?
Well, I made a video about that. So, there is no Princess Quest comic in Ruin, first of all. Second of all, it is 3 stars. Third of all, there is the sword in the Princess Quest 3 arcade cabinet. Fourth of all, I don't even know, but there is the Shattered Freddy or Ruined Freddy with his open chest and no head, just like what happened in the Princess Quest ending. And I think that's enough. Maybe that's even more.
Okay. You gave a lot of good points there that I can't disagree with. But I have a question. I have a very, very intricate question here. I personally believe the Princess Quest ending is the canon ending. I think a lot of people have come to that conclusion and believe it. But for the people out there that do believe the Burn Trap ending is possibly the canon ending, why do you think the Blob is still here?
I think since Ruin, I think it just tunneled out from what we see in the messages, or maybe Gregory said it, I don't even know. But I think it's just trying to escape or something. I don't even know what is going on with the Blob, like, honestly.
Yeah, that was something that I haven't fully grasped yet. And I guess I kind of will get into it. I think that the community liked the Blob, but they didn't really like Burn Trap. Fair, right?
Yeah.
The concept of the Blob was like a pretty large, pretty big thing. Like all these suits, like for example, like Baby's, I think it was Funtime Freddy. Baby's mask is in the Blob, right?
Yeah.
Baby's mask is in the Blob. The puppet, right, with no tears.
Yeah, with no
puppet
tears,
puppet with no tears.
Mangle.
Mangle, that's true. There was just so much about the Blob, right? The Blob is the Blob could be like a cool concept and a cool idea, and I think the community kind of embraced it. But I feel like Burn Trap was declined like a credit card. Oh my goodness, he was kind of thrown out. Would not even be like a right word, but people were scorching Steel Wool pretty bad. So that's my reason why I think that they went the Princess Quest ending. I do think you also have evidence in your recent video. Didn't you mention how they're on the Mimic, which we're going to now talk about? We talked about the ending. Now let's talk about the villain of the game, or one of the villains, depending on how you feel about Gregory. The Mimic. I saw in a video, if you guys don't know this, and if you haven't watched Alper's video, which I do recommend, Alper, you talked about the Mimic's hand. You mind
Yeah.
explaining that for everyone?
So basically, there are two things with its hand. So basically, the hand itself is the same as burn traps, okay? And also, with the arm itself is that it is curved, just like the Mimic has in the books, and burn trap in ruin in Security Beach walks like with his curved hand. So yeah.
Very interesting points. You did mention how like the burn trap hand has like blood on it, right?
Yeah, it has like blood, or it may be dried blood, it may be rust, but who really knows? I think it's blood.
So if you guys don't know, people obviously have data mined the game. They've gotten all the like avatars or the Mimic. They basically have access to all the character models themselves. And what Alper is mentioning here is that on one of the Mimic's hands, the one with 5 fingers and a long claw and long like claw-like fingers, there is a like a blood mark or a goo. I'll call it a goo mark just because we don't really know, but it does look like it's blood that matches the burn trap's hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's ketchup. That's a very good point, Jan. I think it's ketchup as well. But there is like goop on there that would make one believe that it could be the burn trap arm that is attached to the body of the Mimic. Now, I don't know if me and Alper will agree at all on the origins of the Mimic, because obviously, Alper, you believe Edwin made the Mimic, right?
Yeah, I believe in Edwin, yeah.
He believes Edwin. I think Edwin is more of like a parallel to Henry. I'm on the MatPat train. You know, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Guys, MatPat has carried this community so far. I'm not giving up on him just yet. All right, I'm not giving up. So I do think that there are I do think that there's parallels there. I have a question for you because you read the books. I have a question for you. And do you think that Edwin will ever be mentioned within the games?
No. I don't think so.
You don't think Edwin will be mentioned in the games?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. Maybe like in the far future, but I think now in these few games, probably not. In my opinion.
I think that if Edwin is ever mentioned, I would instantly hop from parallels to canon, because to mention like that character and bring him in would be like the nail in the coffin for the argument that the books are canon to the games. But I think that Edwin and all that would you at all be willing to accept, Alper, that Mr. Burrows exists and is actually in the games?
Well, yeah.
Because he's dead.
I mean,
he's
died.
dead, right?
Yeah, he died. Yeah.
Right, he's dead.
I mean,
right? He's
why
in the
not?
Baobab
Like,
tree.
Yeah. Baobab.
Baobab. I can't say that. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. Baobab. It's not Baobab. It's Baobab.
Yeah. Yeah, I can accept that. Yeah. Why not?
So, if you guys don't know, Mr. Burrows I think he's considered the CEO of Fazbear Entertainment, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the main guy.
So, just in case you haven't been aware, MatPat made his whole timeline, and what MatPat did is he basically brought into question of who is the main antagonist, would be the right word, antagonist of FNAF. Who is the villain that we're looking for? And from then on, people have kind of been like, I guess not theorizing, but further scrutinizing, like, who put the Pizzaplex together? Who brought everything here? Who brought, why would the Mimic be here? Who paid to have the, like, who is, I don't even know how to say it. Who is the engine? Who is the gear in the engine of the Fazbear Entertainment machine? Who is pushing, all of this forward, funding a giant Pizzaplex? Who has the IP? And while some people disagree entirely that it was Mrs. Afton, I do think that it brought into question who is behind all of this. And Alper, I'm going to give you, give me your take on, because I know that the Mimic is kind of the main villain right now, and that's what everyone's talking about, but if you had to give me your take on who is behind Fazbear's and just your random wild theory, who do you think is behind it?
Okay, so I have two candidates because I made a video like even a year ago that was like, who is the main villain of FNAF? And I said that it was the CEO of Hasbro Entertainment. And in that video, I said that it may be, which we don't even know if he's in the games, but someone said, or many people pointed out, that it could be, for some reason, Sammy Emily. Wild.
What?
Sammy Emily.
The
We don't know if he
brother?
exists in the game. Yeah.
the brother of Charlie.
Yeah. But we don't know if he exists in the games.
Hold up, give me a second. I need to process that.
You haven't heard of that?
No, I haven't, man.
There
I
were
have
many
not-
people. When, I mean, I guess it's. People were saying on Reddit or asking questions like, who do you think is the CEO of Hasbro Entertainment? And there were many people commenting Sammy Emily because he is like the only candidate that could be still alive, and maybe Mrs. Afton, but like that could like get the legacy of Hasbro Entertainment, so he can be the one that is continuing it. I don't know.
I do agree with you, by the way, that it has to be someone who has close relationship with Fazbear Entertainment, because there is a lot of pointers, I'll call them, and indicators that the person behind Fazbear's is related in some way to the Aftons and the Hemley. Not Hemley.
Yeah.
I just combined Henry and Emily. To the Emily family or legacy. Because I think we can both recognize that, you know, the IP of Fazbear's is, you know, pretty big.
Yeah.
It's a big acquisition. And there are, if I'm not mistaken, there is a Shadow Bonnie statue in Security Breach, right?
Statue?
No, like a cutout. I think there's a cutout.
Oh, yeah, it's a cutout, yeah.
Cutout of Shadow Bonnie. And Ennard is mentioned, right? Isn't there something with Ennard?
Yeah, there's a cutout of Ennard.
There's a cutout of Ennard.
In Rockstar Row.
In Rockstar Row. Yep, there's a cutout of Ennard. So this person has, like, knowledge. Like, I'm not talking knowledge. I'm talking the knowledge of Freddy Fazbear history, you know? But, you know, depending on how you feel of, like, you know, we'll mention that cursed MatPat theory. The, you know, the FNAF games are fake. But, like, you know, what if the games are actually games within this universe?
Yeah.
What, like, how do you feel about that?
I agree because I mean, like in Tales, right? 1 is a game. 2, FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3, FNAF 4 is unfinished. And
Yeah, that one's kind of a brain stomper.
yeah, and I mean, I think that someone on Twitter pointed out that all of the games, 1, 2, 6 are games. 1 to 6 are just games. They are events that happened, but they are still games. Because in Tales, there is, like someone mentions, like, hey, have you heard of that game, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator? Have you seen that?
I haven't, or I might have read it, but I forgot it.
Yeah, King Carter mentioned it on Twitter when someone was actually talking about the inconsistency between the candy cut from FNAF 6 and Security Breach because they look different. So
That is true.
So,
they do look different.
So I think that all of the games, FNAF 1 to 6, are games that are based around true events. And I think that Help Wanted is the first game to be also a game, but also be a VR. Oh my god, this is getting way too complicated.
It is, because like if you think about it, the whole basis of everything of like FNAF is that these are real events that we're playing through. Like FNAF 2, we're actually in a FNAF 2 pizzeria location. FNAF 1, we're in a closed or open, whatever, however you feel about that. Like FNAF 3, like the idea is that we're in an actual location and we're actually facing animatronics, and that this is a real thing. But the whole idea that they're actually games, you know, made by Fazbear Entertainment, that throws a giant monkey wrench in, like a little, you know, throws like a whole, just a complete. I don't even know how to describe it. It basically destroys all the knowledge we had of Fazbear's, right?
Yeah, but you know, I think that the events they happened. The events of FNAF 1 to 6, of course, happened. I'm not saying like MadPat that they didn't even happen. I'm saying that they happened, but there were games made around these events, based around these events, and all that.
My only question is, how would they find out about Ennard? That's such a random detail.
Well, if FNAF Sister Location is indeed a game, then if which I don't know, but good question. There, you know, it's complicated with these.
Exactly, it's complicated, and when we're going to talk about FNAF's video very soon, but it's very complicated to think about. Like, these games could be games; they're not actually real events, because like there's no guarantee that Phasma Entertainment would tell a true side of the story, that they would be honest that kids were murdered, or there was a murder psychopathic Afton Robotics robot, right?
Yeah.
It's like it would be very crazy to even consider some of that and how that would affect the timeline, which is why we're going to get off this topic before my brain explodes, because that is like, you could honestly make an hour essay of like why, or certain points, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely insane if you consider what that could mean for the franchise and what it could mean as a whole. And I want to talk about the next thing. If you guys haven't watched, which I recommend you guys watch after we're done here, is FNAF's latest video. FNAF, John FNAF. That's not his name, but John from FNAF.
Andrew.
Yes, John Andrew. That makes it better. He released a video that I would say completely broke my view of Help Wanted 2. And if you guys have watched it, it's good. If you guys have watched it, I'm sure you know it's good, and it's definitely, it definitely gives you a little bit of like a new view on Help Wanted. But I want to ask you, Alper, what was your reaction to that video?
First of all, it's amazing. I just loved it. The evidence was there. The theory was compelling. I liked it. I really liked it.
Yeah. It was if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I will give you a quick recap, but I do definitely recommend you watch it on your own. It is a video where John basically talks about how the story of Security Breach and Ruin so far seems to be reflecting the original FNAF book trilogy. I don't know, his entire argument, but I will make some points. He talked about how in the original trilogy. Sorry, I'm going to talk about actually the second one, the Twisted Ones. We're talking about Ruin, because they would match Silver Eyes, and then Twisted Ones would be Ruin. He talked about how in that book, Charlie, the main character, feels called to a location. She feels called by her brother, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't really remember.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've read those books. But I believe it's like a call. It's like a call to a location, just like how Cassie feels called to Gregory. Goes down to a cave, like in Ruin. There is someone locked down there, or who Cassie believes to be locked down there, and she actually stumbles into a trap, like the Mimic's trap for Cassie. And it's like a lot of like parallels of like, this could be the story. And if in the third book, the Twisted One, not Twisted One, what is it called? The Fourth Closet?
Fourth Closet, yeah.
The Fourth Closet has a very interesting point about how, or emphasis I should state, about Funtime animatronics. Right? Just make sure we're on the same page here.
Yeah. I agree.
There's an emphasis on the Funtime animatronics in the Fourth Closet. And if you remember, the Help Wanted 2 trailer, we're in what looks to be a sister location elevator going down, and who jump scares us at the end? Ballora. So people, FNAF was creating a theory that we are actually experiencing the original trilogy as like a retelling, or not a retelling, but like a similar. Would that be the right word?
Yeah.
Is that how you'd interpret it? Similar, like a similar story or a similar story arc, maybe, or like outline. And that's what John was talking about. And it was absolutely like mind-boggling to think about, like, could we actually be telling the same story? And Alper, I want to ask you, do you think that that's the way that FNAF is FNAF the game, not FNAF the YouTuber. Oh my goodness, I almost want to make him change his name. Do you think that is the way FNAF is going?
Honestly, from all the evidence, John, FNAF, whatever, presented, I agree. I think it is. It just there's just way too much evidence for it, and I agree with John. Yeah, I agree.
It's guys, if you, I'm telling you, it's very compelling. It's very compelling, and not like compelling, like it's 100%, because he does go off on some points that may be a little interesting to, like he compares Eleanor, which was interesting. He brings Eleanor into the equation because like Eleanor wants to become human. That's what he said, but in reality, Eleanor never wanted to become human. Eleanor was just good at replicating and copying humans. So
Yeah.
that did create a little bit of stir on the good old Twitter or X timeline. But I think that the theory as a whole was really good. And I want to ask you, Alper, what do you think, if you had to give your predictions on how you think, obviously John gave his prediction, but if you wanted to give me your prediction on how you think the Help Wanted 2 game will play out, what would you say?
To be honest, I really don't know. I think that it will be similar to Help Wanted 1, but instead of like the first 4 games, I think it was, yeah. Instead of the first 4, we'll be playing Sister Location, maybe FNAF 6. But really, when you think about it, FNAF 1 or FNAF Sister Location, FNAF 6 there is, and what other games can we play that are like that can be like replicated into this VR? Like,
I
I don't.
in my scrapped video that I made, I talked about how like in Security Breach, how you do like the repair on the animatronics on
Yeah.
Freddy. I easily see that being like a parts and repair, parts and service. That's the
Yeah.
right word.
Yeah. 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 I kind of think it will be similar to Help Wanted 1, of course, but I really don't know what to expect. I'm going to be completely honest. I have zero idea what to expect. I know, or I think that it will be connected to Ruin pretty much. Maybe to Cassie's Dead, maybe to the Nova Trilogy, maybe to Sister Location, whatever. I mean, of course, but you know, uh, I really don't know what to expect from it. I'm
Yeah.
kind of expecting everything.
It's very interesting if you think about it. Like the Help Wanted 2, where it's picking off, could either be like exactly Help Wanted 1, where you're like experiencing nights and you're completing objectives and you're kind of like replaying other things in VR like you do in Help Wanted, of like other experiences. But in John's video, he was kind of proposing the idea that you're not doing that. You're actually playing a
Yeah.
game. You're like, right? Am I just want to make sure I'm getting that right.
You're like actually like in real life, you wanted to say, or
Yeah, like it's like an actual job. Like you're actually there. Because first of
yeah,
all, I want to make a quick point. Helpy in FNAF Help Wanted makes it very clear that it's an attraction. This is a Fazbear themed VR attraction. But in Help Wanted
yeah,
2's
yeah.
trailer, he talks like it's a job.
I mean, he doesn't he talk like hand unit, right? You're talking about. Yeah, because I think he
Hand
talks like
unit.
that.
Oh my goodness, I'm so stupid.
Yeah, I was confused. Yeah, but I think he talks normally when we don't play the mini games. Like, oh, this is a VR game, you are safe. But when we actually play the mini games themselves, like the nights, whatever, or like the vent repair, for example, he talks like normally. He doesn't talk about VR. It's like he's, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, he isn't acknowledging that it's a game when we play the mini games. When we play the game itself,
That's
when
true.
we are not in the menu. Yeah.
Also, I really want to make this like very clear to you guys. If you guys don't know, there is a disclaimer on the bottom of the Help Wanted 2 trailer that says not actual gameplay. That is like standard within a lot of game trailers because they can't guarantee a finished product. But when that is on the bottom of a trailer, especially one in a series like FNAF, you have to take some of the stuff with a grain of salt. Oh, I said that
Yeah.
weird. I said salt. My like voice gave out. You do have to take it with like a grain of salt. So it really does affect how you view it.
Yeah, because it doesn't really look like gameplay. I think it looks more like an animated cutscene because how the camera moves and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually, we have some questions from people that I want to ask you, Alper. We have
Okay.
Jan who asked, I have a question. I heard a lot of people say that the mimic is baby. Alper, what is your response to that?
Oh, well, yeah, I've also seen that. Oh, well, I think I'm reacted to something like this on Twitter, like a reply to something, but I I see the I see like the similarities in the head like between the jaw shape and the head shape and all that. But
That's true.
you know, it's I'm not brave enough to say anything about that because really there isn't. I'm not brave enough. I don't know.
You're not brave enough to
I don't
say it.
really.
He's not brave enough to say it, but yeah, there is some similarities in the outer skeleton appearance of like the
Yeah,
teeth.
because the Phantom animatronic have the wires. What is it called? I don't know. The wire
Metal,
endoskeletons.
metallic, yeah, like body shell, whatever it is.
Yeah, and then they have the base plates or something without the wires. So maybe that's how baby looks without the wires. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Next question I have is from Wendy. Says, "Is FNAF World a good game?"
Yeah, I enjoy it.
And then I have another question from a Metro Goldwyn Mayer. What's the canon ending for? I'm assuming it's Ruin.
I think it is the elevator ending, the neutral ending.
I think so as well. I think that everything points to that. I feel like the Scooper ending was pretty much out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, and also because the scoop ending really doesn't like end, it just kind of the screen just fades to black. We just don't see anything. I mean, in the elevator ending, it makes sense because we crash and then Cassie or Roxy's like Cassie, so it's like it is foreshadowing the next game, or you know what I'm trying to say.
And then there's the Brazil
DLC.
ending, right? That's what we're calling it, the Brazil
Yeah,
ending.
yeah, that I don't know about that. No.
Yeah, I don't think that's canon either because it feels so out of the ordinary for someone like
Yeah.
Cassie. So I don't think that she would naturally do that. I think we do it, whatever. Like there's something to be learned from it. But I do think that it's
Yeah.
actually like very random. It's like you wouldn't
Yeah,
do that.
just imagine just a person that doesn't know much about the lore and all that, just seeing the Brazil ending.
Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense. It
Yeah.
wouldn't. It would not make sense at all in the grand scheme of things. It is weird to think about the Brazil ending and the Scooper ending because both of those endings imply imply a lot. Like, an
Exactly.
ending where Cassie could possibly become like a victim or possessed by mimic program, right? That's
Yeah.
because that's what the Brazil ending is kind of saying, right?
Yeah, I honestly think that I made a video which ending is canon, and I said in that video that I think that ending, the Brazil ending, is supposed to say because you know about the movie that it's based on, it's Brazil, right?
Yes, I do know that. I did see that one.
Do you
Thanks
know?
to Twitter.
Yeah, so you know the ending, right?
Yep.
Where the guy is. Okay, so I think that what kind of happened maybe is that we when we put on the mask, we basically got transported into, basically got absorbed by the mask. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like I don't really know, but I think that we just kind of escaped from the mimic, and now we are just stuck in that limbo, whatever. I don't know. Because the Brazil ending is like, or the Brazil movie is the guy is strapped to the chair, but he's still like he's in the happy world. But
Hey, let me briefly explain. The Brazil ending is basically like it's a movie where basically just the really quick rundown. The guy basically gives in and like he kind of he just gives in,
yeah,
gives in
yeah,
like Cassie.
yeah, and maybe I there's so many possibilities it can be, but also so little because there are also the balloons in the background. Have you seen that?
I don't put any faith into the whole happiest day connection.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
Obviously, you guys and anyone watching, you can if you really do think that that's like the canon ending, but I don't think so. I think that that's like way off, and I think that it's. I think that they deliberately chose the colors, but like I don't think that there's any implied actual connection there.
And also, I think this ending is supposed to say, or supposed to like say to us that the Princess Quest ending is canon because it is the same thing that happened in Princess Quest because they are on a hill, ice cream. I think it's also supposed to say that, and supposed to imply that.
All right, so
confirm
we are running out of time. Just so I don't know if you guys, I made this clear. This was going to be like an hour-long thing because I got to go to work. I have a job, pays very nicely. But just to get some last few questions out before I go, Metro Golden Mayer says, I think the Brazil ending is canon and it's the beginning of the madness. Ooh, FNAF's Into Madness theory. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. That wasn't that. Obviously, if you want to believe that, you can. I'm not going to stop you, but I will let you know that that's the implications there are very interesting. Second of all, and last, I think good thing to end it on. What do you think about the FNAF movie copies Banana Split and Willy's Wonderland? But more in general, how do you think about the FNAF movie?
I'm really looking forward to it. Really. Honestly, it looks amazing in my opinion. I'm really excited for it.
It looks good. It looks like it's going to be high quality. I'm very interested in what the budget is for the movie, but I think it'll be good either way. I think that it'll be good to the fans. I'm just more afraid of how the wider public will receive it.
I think it will generate a lot of cash. That's what I
Yes,
think because
definitely.
FNAF is popular. You know, maybe people will get confused, but I think that this will be more like a standalone thing, so maybe people will like it. I don't really know. I think it will have more of a more generic lore than your average FNAF game, you know.
I
Yeah.
do know that a lot of the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you can continue.
I do know that a lot of people on the cast are signed to a three film deal
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. But I think that what that really means is in case they make more, because it does well. I do think the FNAF movie will generate a profit for them, but it has to
Yeah.
generate a large profit for them to really cash in.
Yeah, but I think that they will do it.
All right. I want to thank Alper. I want to thank you for joining me. I'm sorry that we couldn't talk for longer. I do sadly have to go to work, go back to work. I have pulling a double shift today. So I have to go back to work. But I do appreciate, I'm going to look at you this way because you're on this side. I do appreciate you joining me. I do thank you for anyone that tuned in. This is my first time doing this, so I appreciate your guys' patience with the technical difficulties. We're going to work on, obviously, I'm going to try to work on like scripting, questions, all that stuff. But I appreciate you guys getting through this with me. And I appreciate you very much, Alper, for getting through this with me and taking your time to be here.
Thank you so much, and thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much for joining. Everyone, if you guys don't know, Alper is, if you're just brand new to who Alper or Alperter, I don't know how to say it properly. If you're not familiar with the content, great channel to follow. Me and him are similar subscriber counts. Great content over there if you guys want to go check it out. Or if you want to hear from someone who believes the books are canon to the games. That's a good reason to go subscribe to the channel. But I appreciate you all for joining me. I do want to thank you all really quickly. Really huge thanks for helping me hit 7,000 subscribers. The growth is only going to go up from here, and I know that Alper will be the next to hit 7,000 subscribers. He's going to hit that really soon. All right, that's a cue for you to go subscribe to his channel. But I appreciate you guys, everyone. I just want to say, we will be back. We'll be back. I do have some other people that I'm talking to do this with, but I really do appreciate Alper for being the first person to do this with me.
First one, yeah.
The first one. I'm sure we'll be back with it. I'm sure we'll chat again live.
Yeah, I hope we will.
It was fun. I will talk to you guys next time. I will see you all. I know the end screen says good night, but just pretend like it says good day. I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.
Bye.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.